Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? That's what Uber is all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way. So you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of Fran Coach and your podcast host. Today, we are going to follow up on what we talked about last week. It's like a to be continued thing. So last week, we really focused on the different types of staff that you could have as a franchise owner, how to understand the differences and really the importance of making sure you're finding your best fit with that and how important that is. But then now, what about like the franchisor? Do they give you any assistance with this? What kind? What does that look like? That's what we're going to come back to today and really dive into a little bit deeper. So before we do that, a quick reminder of who we are. Fran Coach is, we are here as the premier franchise consulting firm. Our number one goal, and I just cannot stress this enough, our number one goal is to not sell you a franchise. We don't sell things at Fran Coach, we educate. Our number one goal is, again, not to sell, it is to properly educate you on franchise ownership to determine if you should own one. If so, then we're going to help you figure out what is your absolute best match. Again, not ours, not anybody else's, yours. This is an incredibly individualized and personalized process. We're here to understand what you want and give you an opportunity to be selfish without, getting in trouble for it. So that's us. So now last week we talked about staff and the different things. And again, we just kind of hit back on the three most important things to think about when trying to find your best franchise. Is always number one is what we call the get out of bed test. Your role as an owner. What the heck are you doing when you get your butt out of bed every day? We need to understand that. That's first. Second is going to be the people, right? You're in business. Like you better either like people or fake it. But really we like the people that we like. And that sounds kind of silly. But it's your customers. What kind of customers do you want? How do you find them? How do you communicate? Why do they buy with you? What are some of the things you're talking about your business in the community? And then your staff. Right? That was last week. And then third is the franchisor, which we're going to talk a little bit more about today. So all aspects of it. Sometimes there's a people component. You got to connect with them. What's their leadership, their culture, their values? How does that align with you? But they also need to be able to train and support you. Okay. So when we look at that training and support from a staff perspective, what are some things that franchise can bring to the table for you? Again, they help, they don't do. Right. But let's just start right off the bat. We need to hire people for our new franchise. And again, I don't care if we are hiring burger flippers, we are hiring, master electricians, cosmetologists, whatever it might be, and everywhere in between. There is a really good chance, like 99.9% chance, you will be hiring and employing people in your business that you've never hired or employed before. Okay, so let that sink in for a second, right? Almost everybody we work with starts a franchise in an industry that they have little to no experience in. It is a franchise that was not remotely on their radar before we get started. And oftentimes it's something, they've never, ever heard of. So that staff that you're going to be hiring, even if you're used to skilled labor, this is probably going to be a different type of skilled labor, okay? And more than likely, you're in a hiring position different than you were as an employee, right? as an employee, you make a bad hire. Okay, well, wasn't my money with that, and it didn't really cost like my company anything. As a franchise owner, when all of a sudden you're the one that's got to reach into your pocket, those little alligator arms come out, and so you want to make sure that you understand how they're going to help you. So sometimes it's as simple as I need to post a job for burger flipper level 1. Okay, great. How do I write the job description? Okay. Simple. Franchisor is going to have things like that to help you. You need to hire burger flipper level 1. Here you go. Here is for burger flipper level 2, right? That's quite the tongue twister. So I'm going to come up with something different from there. But whatever that might be, you need to hire a general manager. This is what the general manager looks like for a burger flipper. This is what it's going to look like for a pool cleaning business. Different things. So you're going to have that. Typically, and again, this isn't across the board, but you also have to understand where number 3, franchisor. Part of that is their support. How much help do you need and want here in the hiring process? Sometimes it could be things like, hey, here are great questions to ask for said position. Sometimes it's even like, hey, okay, well, I asked the question, but what the hell's the response need to be to know that this person has any clue? I'm hiring an electrician for my electrical franchise. I'm not an electrician. How do I know they're giving me the right answers, right? Those answers could be shockingly bad, pun intended. You're welcome. So you want to understand kind of what that looks like. There are times even you've interviewed some people, and usually for a little bit more of a key position, burger flipper number 1, level 1, maybe not so much. Something maybe highly skilled, maybe a manager level position. And you're like, I've interviewed these people and these two seem really, really good. I don't know how to make a decision between them. What am I missing? There are times there will be somebody within the franchise system that can help you almost maybe do a final interview. They're not telling you who to hire. Don't look for that crutch. But to be able to go, man, you totally missed the boat over here on candidate number 1, here, and here. Candidate number 2 sounds good, right? Then we go, man, they're both good. Let's just find a way to hire them both or flip a coin or whatever. Other times, other owners within the system, you can tap into to help. Franchise owners in your system are one of the most underrated or under talked about support mechanisms, right? Who better to know how to hire somebody than somebody who has done it in that system, right? So again, understanding where that support comes. Sometimes it's things like compensation. What the heck do I pay this person? I've never had to hire this person before. I've never had to compensate this person. And again, alligator arms, it's my money, right? I want to be cheap, but I want them to work really hard and be very loyal. Not the best plan, right? Again, what is the plan? What support? What are the best practices from that franchisor? And then again, tap into your fellow owners in that system. Okay. Again, are they going to do it as the franchisor going to do it for you and go, all right, Tim, here's your staff. I'm sure they'll be great. Good luck. No, they are not. And if you're looking for that, don't call us. But understanding those type of things. And again, it goes back to last week, the staff and what those top 3 things are, right? If you just really, really, really love training and developing people and giving them the opportunity to do something new, mentor them and help them rise up, and you're choosing a franchise with highly skilled labor in something you've not done before, for all the wrong reasons, right? Because probably somebody told you how much money you could make there. Well, yes, you can, but not if you're going to be miserable around that staff every day. Why would you want to leave your job that you don't really necessarily like to own a business with your money and your time when it's not who you want to be around every day? That does not make any sense. But it's why, again, we go back to why this is so important. Those top 3 things. And again, why the right kind of staff for you is so critically important. Okay. Again, get out of bed test, your role, people, staff, customers, community, and then the franchisor. Those are your 3 things. What 2 things did I not say in there? Industry, window dressing, way overrated. Do we talk about it? Of course we do, right? Do your thoughts and feelings and opinions on different industry categories matter? Yes, right? But when we're doing the build out properly, like everybody at Fran Coach, why are you looking at this? Your role, that customer piece in the community, right? Your role, what you're doing, people you're around, staff, right? And then understanding the differences with the franchisor. Do we talk about industry? We sure do, but it's not in the top 3. Do we talk about money? A little bit, but it's not remotely in the top 3 because the money follows the fit. Repeat after me, louder for everybody in the back. The money follows the fit. Anybody telling you otherwise, they're selling you something. Okay. So again, understand those things. And kind of with that, and I want to give you a little peek at a couple of things that are going to happen. We're going to talk about this month, but there's, maybe I'm just hearing about it more. But I feel like there's some like not always the best things going on in this industry, and that makes me sad. But if you are seeing something, reading something, listening to something, talking to somebody, and they are telling you how much money you can make in a particular franchise, I would strongly, strongly caution you on that. It is illegal in franchising to give what's called an earnings claim. And I just literally saw this on Instagram of all places, but I mean, like 5 minutes before I started to record this. So it's really stuck in my head. And it's touting a particular franchise, and it's not the franchise, right? Frankly, it's kind of another group like us. So it probably sticks with me a little bit more, but they're literally telling you should look at this franchise because of their alleged top line earnings. Okay. Does it mean you shouldn't look at that franchise because that's what they're presenting it? No. Again, you've got to go. What are the 3 things you got to focus on? But to talk about that franchise based on that one and only thing, and that you should look at it because of this number, is just misleading. It's borderline fraud with this. So yes, that's a shiny number. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Well, and literally in the little ad on Instagram, it talks about, oh, this is in their item 19. How many footnotes are under where that is? You got to read that stuff. Probably just ignore it because it's not actually helpful with that. But be so careful. I just see more and more of it. And I know it's the whole stalking algorithm of social media and Google and everything, is that I stopped and I looked at it and I got pissed. So I know darn good and well next time I open up the evil social media apps, like I'm going to see things like that again. And it will happen to you also. Oh, this one does this. Oh, this one does this. This is hot. This is top. It's all crap, folks, right? All that matters is you. What kind of really even before this, why are we even looking at this? What's your get out of bed test? What do you want to do every day? People you're around and what you need from that franchisor. If you're focused on any other thing, there's a incredibly sad chance that you're going to make a bad choice for the wrong reasons. Our team at Fran Coach, we're here to help you with all of this. Again, properly educate you on franchise ownership. I mean this in the best way, folks. I don't give a damn if you start a franchise or not. I want you to understand everything you need to so you're making the best decision for you and your family and your life. For crying out loud, take this stuff seriously and focus on the right things. francoach.net is where you're going to find us. There is just absolutely never any fee for our service. We're here to educate you. Got a couple of things coming up here later this month, and one of which is kind of on this topic for me of some things in franchising, right? There's 3 really big issues in franchising right now that the folks that try to do things the right way all see it, all know it. We all just did it about it, but nobody says anything about it. Nobody is calling out what's going on and trying to create solutions. Guess what? I'm going to do that here in the next couple of weeks, talking to you about the 3 biggest issues in franchising, why these issues are there, and how to get that fixed. Most importantly, folks, how to protect yourself from those things. This is an amazing, fantastic, life-altering, positive, amazing industry in franchising. This is this big, massive thing. It's provided me and my family a life that I never really thought was possible, and a lifestyle that is frankly pretty damn amazing, right? So I love it so much. So I get cranky when there are people not doing the right thing and that nothing is happening about that, right? So I'm gonna be on my soapbox here the next couple of weeks talking about this stuff. But again, all to help educate you and protect you. Until next week, francoach.net, we're here to help you create your better tomorrow. See you next week.